Well, hello, my beautiful Sagittarians. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your monthly reading for November 2023. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings. I do not take your money, e-gifts, donations. I'm not on Facebook, WhatsApp, PayPal, Telegram, or Patreon. I will never ask you for your credit card details. I will never ask for personal details, and I'll also never give you a cell phone number to call. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful there's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Sagittarians, this is your monthly reading for November. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome. But just to make you aware, it's time to get ready and hold onto your hats, for November is set to be a bit of a bumpy ride. Now, just when we're all getting over the double eclipse, we walk straight into a lot of extreme energies that are shifting this month. With the new moon, we have officially moved into Scorpio season. Now, on the positive side of this spectrum, expect to feel extra intense, ambitious, focused, and unstoppable in all your endeavors. You'll really be a force to be reckoned with. However, on the negative side, you may feel a little bit more frustrated, feel like withdrawing or snappy, or even have coarse words with someone who really pushes your buttons. You may even find yourself submerged in nostalgic feelings of anger, remembering wrongdoings from the past, where you hash through conversations that you wished you'd had in order to bring closure. Now, ultimately, we can all channel these fast-moving energies for beneficial outcomes. But this season, it definitely encourages us all to delve into the deep stuff, to resolve, rise, rebirth, and reestablish your personal power. Now, we do have a Sun-Mars conjunction in the sign of Scorpio, which really is a big deal. Such a big deal that I have been mentioning it in the career readings as well. So apologies if you've heard this, but for those of you who have not listened to those readings, it starts in November. And it remains with the collective for 2.5 years, okay? Now, what a Sun-Mars conjunction actually does is it highlights where we will collectively feel the most intense struggles. Now, for example, a couple of years ago, about 3 years ago, actually, the Sun-Mars conjunction was in the sign of Virgo. And at the tail end of that cycle, we saw health issues in the form of a pandemic. Virgo rules health. Then it moved into the sign of Libra for the last 2.5 years, of course. Libra is all about finding a solution to a problem. So it's about finding some sort of balance in chaos. Well, now it moves into the sign of Scorpio, which rules money, pressure, war, secrets, being exposed, and power struggles. But also positively, it actually rules transformation, healing, rebirth. So it has a positive and negative side, of course, just like everything. But in terms of money, we can already see financial shifts globally, so expect money to transform majorly over the next 2.5 years. You'll see transformations in financial institutions, especially since Mars clashes Uranus in the middle of this month, which can be very destructive and sometimes chaotic in its energy. Scorpio season reveals and Uranus restructures, so sometimes it can be a shocking energy, bring a little bit of chaos there. So expect to see major companies, not just financial institutions, but major companies being exposed as having financial problems that have been hidden for quite some time. Now, these restructures or even collapses are in order to rebuild or restart. Okay, the icing on the cake sees a full moon in Gemini on the 27th, which also coincides with Mercury being at a hard angle to Neptune, which could see you personally feeling temporarily a little bit lost or confused, especially if you have some major decision to make, but you will find the right answers when you take a moment of silence, okay? Now, ultimately, though, it is a prime time to do some soul searching. On a more positive note, Saturn saves the day overall for all of us as it goes direct, which means you've been cleansing your karmic slate, and that's why things have been so difficult. You've learned harsh lessons, and now you step into a more responsible role of finding solutions to any struggles that you've been going through, and good karma is set free to start flowing towards you and the collective. So you'll feel more disciplined in all your endeavors and stronger than you've felt for a while, actually. Also, it's a more spiritual approach that will call to you this month, and better luck will arrive as well. Now, I can see that there's better luck coming for you, but there is a little bit of a bump in the road for you as well. On a personal level, your 12th house is influencing you. That's the deepest part of your chart, and you may feel a little bit more sensitive than usual this month. This is a time to really connect to your higher self. Some of you may feel like meditating, or even thinking about taking a spiritual retreat in some form. And it's really about digging deeper, developing a deeper sense of awareness, and receiving important messages from your guides in order to help with personal growth. Also, you may feel like withdrawing to focus on something, focus on some of your projects, and you'll be super busy and back to your best in no time, but you may feel like just taking some time out to rethink your path, or find an easier way to get to wherever it is that you want to go and recharge your batteries. I mean, you've got a 10 of Wands here, which means you are someone who is really exhausted. You've been on the go, and I feel like things are changing for you for the better. I feel like you are rejuvenating your energy. You end on a Page of Wands, which is a Sagittarian card, which it means some of you are reconnecting to your sense of self, finding that level of spontaneity and fun in your everyday, because things have got pretty serious, is what I see here in your chart. Now, also, your 7th house is going to influence you at the end of the month, and that's really about partnerships, people in your everyday circumstances, deepening those partnerships and alliances. And some of you may even think about starting up a business with those people, or you already work with those people. Ultimately, it's about, you looking at who's got your back and who certainly does not support you in your endeavors. And it could be any partnership. It could be love, it could be business, it could be friendships. So it's really about being discerning about the company that you keep, and making sure that you don't waste your time with the wrong people, or you move away and protect your energy from people who drain your energy. So looking at your first card, we've got the Justice card. So this is about being super honest with yourself, because this is the protagonist energy. Some of you are just running on empty. We've got the 9 of Wands there. I mean, you're going for the 9 of Wands to the 10 of Wands. I feel it's really important to get balance in your life. Some of you may be doing something that you're really focused on, and it's almost like tunnel vision, where you're just focusing on that one thing and you're not really giving space or breath for other opportunities, whether that's to be going out and having fun because you've been working so hard, or whether it's because you've been going out and having fun and you need to focus on work. Whatever it is, I feel like you're creating some sort of balance, harmony in your world, and making some adjustments, okay? Now, with the Justice card and the 9 of Wands, this can tell me that some of you are really asking bigger questions. How can I bring more peace of mind into my world? So some of you are tempering the way that you operate in the month of November. Now, this could be like something... Sorry, they're just giving me a song right now, which is, it's a little bit distracting, but I don't know how it resonates with what I'm saying. So I'll give you the song because it is becoming so loud that I have to give it to you, okay? I had to lose you to love me. Okay, that's all they've given me of that song. That's really haunting voice, very nice voice. I want to say, back in the recesses of my mind, I think it's a really famous song, and I think it's by Selena Gomez. I'm not really sure 100%. It may have even come up in a reading. I can't really remember. But I'm being given this energy of, it's not just about love. I feel that song is about love. So some of you beautiful Sagittarians may have had to walk away from a relationship or a friendship, someone you cared about, because you're protecting your energy. I mean, I guess I can see how this is relevant then. Or it could be even... maybe you're walking away from a food substance that you love, or maybe an area, a neighborhood, because you feel that you have to reestablish your sense of self, your identity, and something is draining you. I mean, I know that song is a love song. It feels very much like a relationship song, but I feel this is about your relationship perhaps to the world that you've built around you right now. And I feel some of you are detaching from situations that have caused a lot of difficulty, okay? This card is a card of determination to find that level of balance, to find harmony in your life, but also it's about making a decision, a major decision. Is there something or someone in your world that you need to detach from in order to value your your heart and bring peace of mind. These may be the questions that are being highlighted this month for you to really focus on. Now, the Justice card also indicates, some of you may be going through some sort of legal process, and I feel it's been worrying you. With the 9 of Wands and the 10 of Wands, I feel like things are highly pressured, okay? So if you are going through something legal, I'm sending you a huge hug out there. I do see that there may be some shocking event around that, so you may be surprised by an outcome. But the Wheel of Fortune is present, along with the Page of Wands and the 4 of Pentacles. So I feel like you secure a position that you didn't really need to worry about, is what I see. And I feel like there's freedom. I feel like it may come to a climax this month in some way, especially towards the end of the month. So if you are going through something legal, whether it's a battle, whether it's some sort of dispute, I definitely get a sense here that things will come to an end, but there may be something that surprises you, but I feel the truth will out. Okay, so you're leading with your highest integrity, and I feel like things will work in your favor to some degree, but there's one element that I feel you'll be a little bit shocked about. Okay, but I definitely see this sense of freedom, like the pressure being lifted off your shoulders. Okay, now for the rest of you who are not going through a legal battle, I definitely get a sense here that you're gonna be really busy. Okay, this can be a card of administrative tasks, lots of emails, phone calls, really just doing your everyday, making sure business is running, or that your bills are paid on time. This is like doing like mundane tasks that have just got to be done. And I definitely see that some of you, especially with the 9 of Wands, there can be something that was built up that you haven't got round to doing. Well, the month of November is the month to do it. So whether it's something like DIY around the home space, whether it is, pay that bill that you've been meaning to, or whether it is like call your local authority because they got your details wrong, whatever it is, I definitely see that anything you're dissatisfied with, you're actually changing it for the better to bring a little bit more harmony into your world, just to make sure that those tasks are not sitting on your shoulders. Okay, so a very productive month there. Also with the Justice card, this is good karma. Okay, so I definitely see good karma is starting to flow to you after a period of being really tested. I feel things have been a little bit difficult for you. You've got a lot of wands in your chart. Like the 7 of Wands is like pressure. Okay, so I feel like the pressure is off, like blowing off steam. Now, however you're channeling your energy this month, I feel it's very productive. So this could be you like taking a really long walk in nature, or it could be you going to the gym or getting moving, or like they're just showing me some boxing right now. So maybe it's like just getting the energy out, because we've got the 9 of Wands, the 7 of Wands, and then we've got the 10 of Wands, and then we've got the Page of Wands. Some of you, it could be that you're going to take up some sort of creative endeavor so that you can get that energy out of you and channeled into creating a piece of art, or perhaps there's a hobby there. But I definitely see those like a built up amount of energy where you've been doing a lot in life, but maybe I feel some of you haven't been doing the things that you've really enjoyed. So I get a sense of wanting to blow off steam and have some fun. So I think looking at your chart here, I get a sense here that you are learning to shine and embrace the joys of life, because life's got pretty serious is what I see here as well. Now that's a lot of energy to come from this card, and even my guys are saying you're not finished with this card. 8 is the number of the self, and in this particular deck, beautiful deck there, ANIMA Tarot deck there, it's just a major arcana deck. It is about you being really honest with yourself. Are you burning the candle at both ends? Are you getting good sleep? Are you, living your best life? Now, of course, the pressure's on. Life is about ups and downs, and we can't all be off like looking at the world and, taking snapshots on social media by some sort of infinity pool. That's just not the way that everybody can live, right? The pressure is on. But I definitely see that the universe is sending you some sort of resource this month, a gift. It could be a financial gift. There's some sort of lucky break happening for you this month where you're like feeling a bit on top of the world. Like you're like, at last, that lucky break, or that thing that you've been waiting for. It's such a relief. They're giving me the word relief, okay? So I really feel the pressure is off, and there's a little bit more fun, a little bit more optimism coming in, a little bit more joy happening here as well. And some of you may even be taking some sort of travel that you've been saving for. You may be like yearning towards going, towards the sun or sunnier climes. We've got the Queen of Wands here. I mean, there's so much wands. So I feel some of you have been either so drained that your motivation, your drive has just been on a little bit of a low ebb, or you've been like pushed and pulled in many different directions. You felt a lack of focus and you've had to do so many things that you're spreading yourself thin. But I definitely get a sense here that you're stepping more into your power, reestablishing your sense of self, and finding your motivation, your drive, and your mojo. Okay, I definitely see that that is returning for you. Now we got the Six of Pentacles here. Again, it's a card of balance. So this indicates that you are someone who's wonderfully generous. You're so beautiful in your heart and you care about everybody, okay? And I definitely get a sense here, some of you are going to do a bit of charity work this month, or you may be asked to help out on something. I mean, these two cards, when you have them together, this is like double justice, okay? So if someone has been doing you wrong in somewhere or things have not been fair, I feel like you're readdressing the balance this month and there is a distribution of better luck and better outcomes for you, okay? Now, what I'm seeing here is you've been so generous. You've done something really generous in the last year, okay? I feel like you do it all the time, but they're really highlighting like good karma coming back to you like a boomerang for your generous heart. But also the Six of Pentacles is, it's taken you a long time to recognize that you are a gift, not just to like a working environment, but also to like your friends, to those people around you, to the world itself. And it's taken you a long time because some of you may have suffered with low confidence in some area of your life. And I feel like this month is like suddenly having an epiphany, like, well, you know what? There's only one me. I can't be anybody else. I might as well embrace myself, love myself, and get myself out there and just do life. So I definitely get a sense here that you're reestablishing your power in some way and you're attracting opportunity. Now, I feel like your focus really is not on love, okay? I feel this month your focus is on your money. However, with the Queen of Wands there present, and male or female, not a gender-specific reading, it's about the energy, I feel like you're going to notice people noticing you. There's going to be flirtations or attractions. I definitely see that you're going to get a lot of attention this month. So if you are looking for love, I feel like there is the spark of someone like having a flirtation with you. There's like a spark. And I feel like you will actually explore this further if you're single, okay? But it could be that you're going to get like a compliment about yourself, your work, or something where you feel really appreciated, and it just puts a spring in your step. So even if you're in a relationship and you're walking down the street, someone may pass you a compliment, or if you're in a career environment, you may get like a tap on the shoulder from your boss and say, you know what, you're doing a really good job. And I feel there is a potential that it's reflected in your pay, because the Six of Pentacles, and I will pull some cards on it because you've got major ARCANA cards this month, which means there's some big stuff happening for you. This card, it indicates the universe is going to step in and give you a surprise. I mean, all your cards point to a really big surprise this month that is actually a happy surprise. So Six of Pentacles is like you're being rewarded. The universe is exhibiting some sort of generosity, reminding you that the world is full of pleasant surprises. Because sometimes, especially with what's going on in the world, you know, we can be bombarded with all the negative stuff that's happening. Now, of course, there's some horrific things going on, and sometimes it's just really hard to fathom. So I feel that on a personal level, you are going to be given some sort of good luck this month, okay? And it could be in the form of finances. So I'm just going to have a look at that as well. Some of you, if, for example, you're owed money, you get it this month. If someone has not been paying you, if you're a freelancer, for example, and it's delayed, you'll get paid this month. Some of you, if they owed you money, I definitely get a sense that you are giving it back this month. This is a month of fairness, okay? And we've got the Nine of Wands. Now, the Nine of Wands is an energy, I mean, this is your protagonist energy. So some of you, you've been working really hard to create balance in your world. And every time you manage to get some sort of harmony, suddenly something arises and you're like, oh, you're back in the same cycle of repeat. But I feel this month is different. It's like, well, they're giving me this energy. And I have to just mention that song again. That song can be relevant because you may hear that song in the next coming weeks, and it coincides with some sort of good news that comes in for you that you've been hoping for, something that you've been wishing for, okay? I feel suddenly there is an opportunity that arises, or suddenly you get what you're promised, or suddenly you're not compromising on something and you get your way. There's just this energy of, you know, not taking the stuff anymore. Like, I've had enough. I'm not going to bend on my morals. I'm not going to, budge. You're making some sort of sustained effort in your world to get what you want, and you're not giving up on it. That's what I see. And the universe is rewarding you for believing in yourself and recognizing that you deserve whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, right? Now, the Nine of Wands can also indicate that some of you are reevaluating circumstances right now, especially since we've got such shifting energies as your protagonist energy there. I mean, these are cards of finding the balance or things tipping the balance in some way. And the Nine of Wands is like to feel cautious that you have to make a decision and you may feel uncertain about your circumstances, but your inner wisdom is telling you to bring light to your situation. If you're feeling stuck, because the Tower is there for you, if you're feeling stuck or isolated in your circumstances right now, I feel this month you're taking major steps to alleviate that energy or liberate yourself from a very stuck situation. And some of you are contemplating a different path. It may be the same goal that you are achieving, but you may be taking like an alternative route to wherever it is you want to go. And I feel it just feels more peaceful, whatever that is for you, okay? Now, yeah, I was saying that my guides are giving me this feeling of like a stone in my shoe. Okay, I'm not wearing shoes. When I channel, I have my feet on the ground. But they're giving me this sense of someone walking and like a stone being in the shoe. So that can mean there's something like almost like a fly in the ointment, or something that tries to stop you in your path. And I feel like you just pause for a moment in order to remove the stone, and then you move on. So there could be something that annoys you or irks you this month that you think, oh, but actually it is temporary. So I want you to be aware of that. It's really temporary, and I feel things work out for the better, whatever it is. Now we do have the Star energy, and it's in the Resistance position. Some of you are feeling really unappreciated in your current circumstances, and I feel like you've been really tested in life in general, and I feel the pressure has been on, and I feel almost it's like chipped away at your confidence or knocked away your energy in some way, and you just feel like it's the same old thing, just a different day. And I feel right now you're at the precipice of change, and you're working out what is the best path for you. Now that could be you working out whether you're happy in your job, whether you're happy in your relationship, whether you're happy in your neighborhood, whatever it is. I definitely get a sense here that you're making some major restructures going on in your world. Now, the Star in this position, because it is in the reverse, it tells me that some of you have been feeling a little bit down or a little bit meh about your circumstances. You may feel that you've been a little bit lost recently, and some of you may even have felt a little bit more negative than usual, a little bit more grouchy than usual. And people may have noticed that if you're normally a little bit more upbeat, then be like, oh, you seem a little bit off. Okay, I feel that you're just getting to a crisis point where you're like done with people taking advantage of you or underestimating you or pushing your buttons or putting the pressure on in some way. I feel like you're just done. I feel like you're stepping into this sense of what you feel is right for you, and I just get a sense that you're like not conforming. Okay. Also, with the Star energy in this position, it can indicate some of you are feeling really drained, and you may be looking at ways to change that. Now, this could come in the form of like food substances. Some of you may be looking at cutting out things from your diet that have made you feel really low energy or have actually not made you feel very good. And I feel, it extends to the rest of your life as well. It's like, what can I cut out that makes life feel easier for you? Now, with the Star energy, some of you may have felt a little bit of brain fog or clouded recently. You may have been even just a little bit forgetful. And I feel with the Seven of Wands there and the Queen of Wands, it can indicate that some of you have been having some sort of, now don't shoot the messenger when I say this, okay, some sort of food substance in excess is what I'm being given. Now this could be like, I don't know, caffeine. Okay, I'm just pulling it out of the hat. I'm not pinpointing anything or pointing fingers at anybody, because you know what? Me having a coffee in the morning, that is my saving grace. So if someone said, could you give up that one cup of coffee first thing in the morning? I'm like, hell no. Otherwise, I just couldn't do what I do, right? I mean, I'm sure I could, but I don't want to. Anyway, let's move on from that. But my point being is there something that you've been loving that has been creating some sort of like hormonal imbalance or has been shifting your mindset in some way, like excess sugar, for example, can give you like intense highs and you've got lots of energy, but also it'll give you a crashing low and then suddenly you're burnt out. So I feel like you're trying to temper an excess energy of extremes, okay? And that could come in the form of food. So I'm only just highlighting that as a potential factor. But it could be that the pressure is on in some way in your life and you're like, you know what, I need to step back and see how I can manage this a little bit more effectively, okay? Now, what I see here is there's something you've been wishing for quite some time. I mean, some of you may even be like moving towards something that you're going to be tested on, or you feel tested on, because, that card can indicate tests coming up. And some of you are feeling a little bit nervous or a little bit like unconfident in some way. You're going to ace it. You're going to surprise yourself and totally ace it, whatever it is. And you're going to celebrate and it's going to be excellent. So, really recognize you're awesome at whatever you're doing and that, you just need to have a little bit more confidence. Also, some of you, this is going to be a big month for lots of new ideas. Some of you may have been feeling so drained that you perhaps have not had the ideas that normally you would, but November is going to change for you, because anything that's in the resistance position at first ends up in the upright at the end. And I see you aligning yourself with a wish come true, or, the universe steps in and delivers some really great synchronicity, but also a lucky break. And if you know my readings, you'll know that a tower shows up with a wheel of fortune. That's a big surprise that's going to be very fortunate. I will pull cards on the tower when I get there as well, just to see if there's anything that is untoward there. But so far, I can see the outcome. It's like there's a lot of pressure because you're really busy, and some of you, you may be moving, or you may be trying to relocate, or you're actually thinking about the next steps for next year, and it makes you feel really daunted, like worried, like, wow, that's a lot. Sometimes when we've got a big project on, or we have something in mind that we want to do, it seems so monumental. We think, how are we going to achieve that? But small steps and balance and harmony, you'll get there and you'll achieve your goal. So don't worry. Whatever is meant for you will never pass you by. Now, the next card you actually got was the Queen of Wands. So it's in the resistance position. Some of you, I'm getting an energy here of inspiration returning, okay? Your personal power and magnetism returning, but also the Queen of Wands. Some of you have not been spending time with people. Some of you may have withdrawn for a little while, and you may even feel like withdrawing because of your 12th house. But I feel it's important to recognize that you also need to get out there, because when you spend time with good people, you actually change your frequency and it elevates you in some way. So the Queen of Wands is about attracting the right kind of soul tribe, expressing yourself. You're being encouraged to express yourself. You are unique. And I feel like you are attracting the right people and the right circumstances into your world. But after a long period of time, you may have felt that nothing's been happening, that you felt really stuck or stagnant in a situation. The Queen of Wands is like breaking through. It's about recognizing that you have personal power and that you are in a really good situation. Now, for some of you, if you're in a career, for example, some of you may have felt unappreciated or overlooked when it comes to promotions, raises, or new money. But I definitely get a sense here that you're going to be surprised this month. There could be an opportunity coming in, maybe a new role that brings in new money. I feel like you will sign a contract with this. However, what I see here is going to be a lot of work. Okay, it's going to, you're not afraid of work. I definitely see that you're the sort of person who works really hard. So I feel there will be more work. Just make sure that the pay is in alignment with the amount of extra work you're going to get there, okay? Because I feel you have the potential to negotiate a better deal, because whoever you work for or whoever you work with, I feel like there's a real strong potential that they'll try and give you a certain amount of money that is not realistic to the amount of tasks that they are going to have you doing, okay? So I feel an element of realism is there. Please also pay close attention to signing contracts, especially when it comes to the fine print, because with the Justice card there and the Tower, there may be something in there that perhaps you don't like as a clause, so you may want to negotiate that. But also, if you're in a position for a long period of time and your company is restructuring in some way, maybe merging, or there's some sort of new management or reshuffle and you have to sign new contracts, make sure that everything that you got before, the benefits, etc., make sure they're still included in the contract. Because if you've worked for a company for 15 years and they give you a new contract, the law states that you now worked for that company since the date that you signed that contract, and everything that went before is nullified. If it's not mentioned in the contract, that's a potential there where they can like phase out some benefits. Or so I feel like it's really important to recognize that and pay close attention. Okay. Now we do have the Seven of Wands. There's something here that you felt like giving up on, but I feel you get this renewed sense of like, no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to see it through. Okay. So a lot of determination this month. I feel like you are, you know what I feel? There's this energy here of being really established in what you do, really good at what you do, and then having to protect your position. You know, so for example, if you've reached a certain level of success in your world, it's like, now how do I maintain it? So for example, if you have like been on a diet and you're like, you know what, I've done really well in this diet. It was a diet for 60 days. I've completed it. It's amazing. Now, how do I maintain it? Same with a career. If you've reached like a certain level in your career, you're like, okay, I'm good at what I do. Now, how do I maintain it? How do I keep it interesting? How do I keep doing what I do best? Same with like friendships. You know, how do I maintain friendships? Especially if you're going through something, do you reach out and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to withdraw for a little bit because I'm going through something. The right friends will always understand that. But I definitely get a sense of you maintaining your position in your world in some way. And with the Seven of Wands, this is unstoppable energy, okay? I feel like you're not compromising, you're going the distance, you're persevering at something, and I feel like you're finding inspired solutions to whatever difficulties you've been experiencing. You're at your personal best, okay? You are always your personal best in this moment, because you can't be the person you were in the past, and you certainly cannot be the person that you're going to be in the future. You are at your personal best in this moment, and you can change everything that you desire to change in this moment. So you actually have a lot of power, and I feel like you're recognizing that in the month of November. Now, there is definitely something to celebrate and a surprise here. I mean, the Tower energy, it can be a destructive energy. I'm not going to lie to you. We all know that the Tower is like to reshuffle our life or declutter our life, or in some way break something down that is not stable. So as you've got a Four of Pentacles here, I feel like you are really in a good position to change your life in some way for the better, because the Four of Pentacles is to take ownership. It is what needs to change in order to liberate yourself out of a stuck situation. You know, if you have been living a life where your schedule is the same old thing, just a different day, and you feel it's a repetitive cycle, routine, and it feels boring, dull, and you're feeling really stagnant, well, this is your opportunity to change your circumstances for the better. For some of you, it can indicate with the Four of Pentacles that some of you have not been getting out there and having fun, because the Four of Pentacles says, do not let life pass you by. So I feel like you have been concentrating on building a life of stability, and of course that's very important. We all need to pay bills, and I definitely see that you will be able to do that and maintain a certain plateau of finances, but I also get an energy here of you needing to be a little bit more adventurous in life, or exploratory, where you go out there and experience new things. And some of you are working really hard to be in alignment with your true life's mission and purpose path, and I feel like you are on that path, and I feel like there's more good stuff to come in that area for you as well. But let me pull a card on the Tower, because it can literally mean that you're feeling a little bit stuck or isolated. Some of you may even feel a little bit lonely right now, and I feel like you're trying to find your soul tribe. I do see there's an event coming up, something that you'll be invited to, and I feel there is a potential here for you to meet new people at that event. So if you are searching for your soul tribe, there's going to be at least 3 people in that group who are going to remain friends for life, okay? The Lover's card. So, I mean, the Lover's card can indicate sudden love, because the Tower is like suddenly you're in the position to meet someone new, okay? But it can also indicate suddenly you have a choice to make, and following your heart is being called for at this time. Also, the Lover's card is the law of attraction equivalent. So it's like, what is your heart vibing at this time? Because the universe is about to send you something that you've been yearning for. So I definitely see that you're going to have some sort of opportunity that you love. This Tower is working for you, not against you, because you'll love the outcome is what they're giving me here. So it could be like a partnership. I'm just going to go again just to make sure. yeah, it's to walk away from anything that's not giving you peace of mind. Okay, anybody who's pushing your buttons, I feel like you're restructuring your life, decluttering your life, and it's a big month to create change for you as well there. Eight of Cups indicates something is emotionally not fulfilling. Okay, you're taking ownership to walk away from things that just aren't working for you right now. And Queen of Swords, you're turning your back to the past. Nine of Swords and the Moon. I feel like even though there are some uncertain times, okay, I feel like you are getting organized, and I feel like you are strategizing. There's something that you have to make a decision on, something that you're worried about, but actually I feel like the universe is going to deliver something like a gift, because the Moon card indicates something behind the scenes is being orchestrated right now that you're not even aware of, and it's waiting for the right moment to materialize in your life. And I feel like you won't be worried. I feel like you've got this. I feel like you're establishing a sense of power. Now, also, and I'm going to pull a card with a different deck on this one, just to be sure. Some of you may hear of a hardship regarding a friend, okay? Let me just pull a card. It may surprise you, shock you. Okay. I mean, this is a positive energy, so it could be that someone you love who's connected to family, okay? I feel, how's this going to work out? Let me see how this is going to work out. Four of Swords, you may think about this. Okay. Okay. So it's basically, it's like, it's a testing energy, but it's not, you're being guided and protected in this situation, whatever this is. Yeah, okay. So what I'm getting here is this could be someone who is like family to you, okay? Someone that you really care about. You may hear like some news about them, but actually it's all going to be like Six of Swords there indicates this situation, it will work out for the best. It's like transitioning towards something better. So for example, you may hear that a loved one loses their job, or you may hear that there are some sort of company restructures and there's a worry about what's going to happen next. But I definitely see it's for the better. Okay, because what they're showing me is that protected and redirected. Often when we experience a rejection in life, it can be a protection and a redirection towards something better, okay? And the fact that it's covered by the sun is like, this is a positive outcome. Things are working in your favor, but I do get a sense that some of you may hear some news from a friend or someone that you consider part of your family, and it may surprise or shock you, but I feel, you know, you'll be there for that person. You'll be supportive of that person. They're actually showing me in the water right now. What are those? Oh, wow. Okay. I'm being shown like a building with like Grecian style columns. Okay. It may be a place of note for you, or it could indicate strength, or being a pillar of support, of course. Thank you so much. I'm truly grateful. It can also be you finding support in all of your endeavors, as well as being a supportive force for your friend. I'm being given that they were based on trees. That's such a random piece of information. Please apply it to your situation if it resonates. It may not resonate for everyone. I'm being given they're called Corinthian columns. The last of the developed columns, okay, maybe denotes that there's some sort of last minute piece of information that comes in. They're giving me, it means involving the highest standards and enjoying luxury. I don't know, maybe it means that like you're going to hear some news from a friend or about a friend, and you sort of are a pillar of support for that friend, and that you pamper that friend, or you're there for them. I'm not really sure how else to decode that. So I feel like you will be there for a friend this month. Okay. I think things will get better for your friend there as well. Okay. We'll move on from the energy with respect. The Sun card indicates a breakthrough. So these two cards are major epiphanies, okay? So a major moment of a turnaround, things working out for the best, you being surprised at the outcome and really happy and overjoyed with the outcome. This is a card of success, positivity, joy, but also it's an awakening. So suddenly a piece of information may come to light that changes your viewpoint on something in your life. And with the Sun card, I feel like, I mean, this could also indicate like late bloomer, okay? Because I was given that like the columns thing connects to like late blooming or late piece of information coming in. So please apply it. It's a very convoluted kind of message I'm getting, and I feel like I'm not really pinpointing the crux of the message. So I have to be honest and say I can't really grasp it 100%. I won't just make something up for you. I can only give you what I can feel or I'm being given, and that's all I'm being given. So I'm going to move away from that. But I mean, I'm going to pull a quick card on the double energy of the Tower and the Sun for you. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide? Because I feel like this is a positive, like, liberation. The High Priestess. Okay, so, I mean, these two cards indicate some of you are aware, intuitively aware, that you need to change your life in some way. Okay, this is to dedicate yourself to your intuition, but also to your higher self, and to know something. And then, of course, we've got the Knight of Swords there, which is to change your life in some way, but can also mean some sort of fast-paced information that comes in that you'll have to really think about for quite some time. You may even feel like withdrawing to really digest this information. And some of you, you're going to like pass something, or you're going to get something really exciting that changes your world in some way, gives you some sort of freedom. Okay, so it could be that like a certificate is coming in, some sort of reward or qualification is coming in that you pass with flying colors on something, and it allows you to move forward in life and not be so stuck. Because the Knight of Swords is to move, the Tower is to feel stuck and to break down everything that's just not working for you at this time. Now, we do have the Wheel of Fortune, so it's a lucky surprise, whatever it is for you, okay? I definitely get a sense there's a cycle of change happening for you, but also I get a sense here that things are looking up. But I really want you to be aware of managing your stress levels. And if there's something that is pressurizing you, I feel like it's important to find balance, because this month you could see like a seasonal cold, or your immune system could be a little bit low. And it's highly likely that if you don't create some sort of peace of mind in your world to some degree, I feel like you could like be struck down in your prime with a seasonal cold. So just watch out for that, okay? Because I feel like you're burning the candle at both ends, or in some way you're not getting the rest that you deserve at this time. Now, the Wheel of Fortune, it's definitely an energy of, you know, abundance coming on in, but it also indicates like a cycle of both being bad and good, okay? And I feel like you appreciate that life has ups and downs. So I do feel like sometimes out of a perceived negative experience, there can be a good outcome. So for example, and I mentioned this in one of the readings the other day, many, many years ago, you know, I was in a very toxic work environment, and I refused to leave because I needed the money. It was a lot of money. It happened to help me pay bills and look after my family, all of those things. But it was a struggle. And every day it felt like it was chipping away at my soul. And I was just like, almost like a zombie, like going in and really hating this position. However, you know, I would never have left. And so many people told me to leave. But long story short, I suddenly found myself getting up in a meeting and was like, I'm leaving. It's over. And I was there for quite, you know, some time. I was there for many, many years. And suddenly it was almost like an out-of-body experience where there was this negative, really negative meeting. They were saying some horrible things about people, about me, about the way that we worked. And we worked our fingers to the bone in that company. And some of the things that they were saying about people in general were just totally untrue. And I was like, why are they coming up with this stuff? It was horrible. Anyway, I just found myself like standing up and being like, you know what, I'm going. This is it. I'm gone. And I didn't even like have a conversation with myself. I was like, what? As I was walking out, and I got really upset about it. But as I was walking out, you know, there was this inner monologue that suddenly appeared like, what are you doing? Get back in the room. You need this job. And the other part of me was like, nope, we're not taking this anymore. I've had enough. And I get a sense here that part of you is like, nope, I've had enough. I have to do something about this. I have to change it, because if I don't, then, you know, the circumstance will shape me. And I feel like you are a shaper of circumstance. So, you know, whilst that was a negative experience because I needed the money and I was worried about how I'm ever going to find another job that pays the same amount of money, you know, at the same time, I was choosing me. I was choosing to have a healthier working environment for me. I was setting a boundary. And so, you know, out of something negative came something really positive, because it set me on a path that ended up, you know, I ended up doing what I really love. And, you know, I ended up being able to really dive into my spiritual journey as well, because, you know, I really was curious about spirituality, because I was running away from some of the gifts that I've been given. And suddenly I wanted to really explore it. And when I was asking my boss, could I take, you know, my time off that I was entitled to, could I take time off to go to this place to explore stuff? And they were like, no, we need you here. Or if, you know, I normally had like a choice between an early shift and a late shift. And when I said, you know what, I really like the early shift because I'm going to be doing this thing. And they're like, no, we require you to do the late shift every time. And I was like, what? So my point being is, you're choosing yourself. Okay. And I feel like you are going to have some really awesome news happening here for you as well. But I feel a period of being stuck is changing for you for the better. Okay. 10 of Wands, enough is enough. I get a sense here that you're a very strong person and you've been enduring something for quite some time. You've been overloaded, but I definitely get a sense here you're gathering the strength to change your life in some way. And the Four of Pentacles, I mean, I'm going to give you this energy that's coming through now. You're not going to want to hear it. I don't want to hear it, but there is a real potential this month, okay, that there is a shock bill that you'll have to pay out for, okay? I'm going to pull a card on that. That's the negative energy that's coming through. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide? Ace of Wands. Queen of Wands. Okay, you got Queen of Wands there. You will find an inspired solution to this. I feel like you've got this, whatever this is. I mean, I feel like you're still able to save money. You've got a Four of Pentacles there at the end, but Four of Swords. These cards are coming out again for you. Seven of Wands, you've got this, the World card. Yeah, you'll tie up this loose end. I definitely see that whatever you pay out, you will replenish in your account later on. But I do get a sense here that there is, it's like you start with a little bit more money at the beginning of the month, and then at the end of the month, of course, you're spending, right? Because we need to pay bills, we need to pay for food. But I also get an energy here that there is a surprise bill coming through. I actually feel like you can test it and you sort it. It's like, I feel there's like a problem. Maybe they've billed you incorrectly, asked for too much money, or perhaps it's a fine that comes through and you're like, no, that's a, you know, a place that you can park, or you have a parking permit and they just didn't see it. There's something here about being charged too much for something and you being really shocked about it. However, I feel like you stand your ground, you investigate it, and you really like find a way to overturn it, is what I see there. Okay, so don't worry about that, my beautiful Sagittarians. Now we do have that Page of Wands there. For a lot of you, if you're in a career, this could be a new project or a new position becoming available to you, but ultimately it is about you reestablishing your power and bringing more spontaneity and fun into your life. Okay, if you're retired, for example, some of you may shock some of your family members by thinking about moving abroad. I feel like they support you, they got your back, they're really happy for you, but they're going to miss the closeness, okay? But I feel that this is the right decision for you. I feel like, you know, you're yearning to be a place that brings you a lot of peace, and I feel like you can travel and be with your family as well. So you get the best of both worlds, and that's what I'm seeing from this reading, you getting the best of both worlds. Now, Page of Wands, you're going to be a little bit more curious about your circumstances, and that can involve you visiting a new restaurant or bar or new neighborhood, or even taking a trip abroad to a new place. I also see there's some sort of news that comes in, because pages, they tend to bring news that gives you a real spring in your step, okay? So very exciting month for you. I feel there's a lot of ups and downs. I got to be honest with you. There's a lot of like finding flexibility and balance in your circumstances, but I feel everything turns good for you. And I feel you got to watch your energy levels, because I feel right now they're really fluctuating. Now this could indicate some sort of hormonal imbalance, but I feel it's a food substance that's triggering it for you. That's what I'm picking up on there as well. Lots of wonderful new ideas happening for you this month. I really feel like you're establishing your power. I mean, look at that. Your life is at a turning point right now. You're ready. And that's what I'm definitely seeing here in your life. It's like enough is enough. You're changing things for the better. So there's a major cycle of change happening. We've got, it's okay to be different. Don't try so hard to fit in. Now, if there's one thing I know about my beautiful Sagittarians is you stand out from the crowd and you are a wonderful, quirky energy. And I love you all because there's part of you that always knows that you're different and you've embraced that. So I actually feel that you know that you don't try hard to fit in because you are unique and that is your superpower. But some of you may have been feeling a little bit low energy recently, especially since you don't fit in. Sometimes it can be difficult, although you're self-sufficient and, you know yourself or you're, established in your energy. Sometimes it can be difficult because you don't fit in. So there is a longingness to find people that you do fit in with. So I do feel that you're going to find your soul tribe. This could come in the form of picking up a hobby or going to some sort of group of like-minded people this month. So you may find where you are meant to be. A little bit of soul searching going on there because the 12th house is involved. There's still time to change the road that you're on. It's never too late. Okay, so that definitely resonates with this reading, that some area of your life, I feel like the goal is the same and you're going to reach that goal. You're going to be very goal focused and you're going to accomplish whatever it is you set out to do. But there may be an alternative route, a different approach. And I feel like you're going to find that as well. And also, true love will find you in the end. Okay, look at these two figures. They're astronauts. Okay, they're different. They're out there exploring the solar system, drifting around. Some of you may have been feeling that you've been drifting for some time and you're wondering if you're ever going to meet someone who vibes with your wonderful, unique self. Well, the answer is yes. Okay, I definitely get a sense here. Some of you are going to explore outside your current circumstances because the astronaut is indicative of being explorative, to do something different, to be out there, to challenge the status quo, to, elevate above your current circumstances. So I definitely see that is resonating in your reading to some degree. And I feel it's not just applied to love. I feel it's also applied to your job or to where you're living right now. This is a very complex reading, my beautiful Sagittarians. I hope something resonates in this reading for you all. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Sagittarians? What do they need to know? Isn't it interesting? I mean, you're reaching new heights. I mean, you can't get higher than an astronaut, right? So we've got here new heights. And the phoenix rising from the ashes. Things have been difficult. The phoenix rises from difficulty. So it says here, new heights, ladder of success, steady climb, solid ground, enduring a situation. We've mentioned that. Exceeding your expectations. So that's definitely what I'm seeing there as well. We've also got lone wolf. I mean, with the Page of Wands, it could be that you've got a spark of an idea. Maybe you're launching an entrepreneurial ship. Something is getting you really passionate and creative this month. And it says, striking out on your own, ambition, job hunting, work is play, wild craft, and conquering a fear. Okay. And this is really weird. I'm being shown an image in the water of these trees that are moving. That is really weird. It looks really freaky. It's almost like out of a horror movie. These trees are the roots. I'm just seeing it's moving. Okay. I'm not sure if trees, I feel like trees organically may shift in order to move towards the light, but moving really fast, I think that's probably not true, but it's an image I'm seeing right now. So it's making me second guess myself. What I'm getting with it, I'm going to go with these sort of spiritual energy that's coming from it, which is some of you are upping roots, you're moving perhaps, or you're planning to. Can also indicate that you're moving. Oh, thank you so much. I'm truly grateful. It's like I've just had an epiphany. They're giving me, you're moving from shade to sunlight, and literally that's what's happening for you. You've got the star in the resistance position, so it's like you're running on empty. You may feel like you're in the shade in some area of your life, and you're going to the sun, so you're stepping into the spotlight. Okay, so you're going from shade to sunlight, and your landscape is shifting in some way in your life, and you're adapting to it. You know what? Maybe they should have just given me this image right at the beginning, and it may have, you know, made the reading a little bit shorter for you if that's what you're hoping for. I'm here for as long as they want me to talk, but I feel it's about flexibility, adapting to your environment. So there may be some major change that occurs where you need to adapt to it, but you got this, okay? So we've got sideways. So it corresponds a little bit. Maybe this is an image that you'll see. I mean, that's really random. I don't think trees move that quickly. But anyway, I'm going to move on away from that image. We've got indirect path to success. Explore all the paths. One leads to another. You're sampling life. I love that. This is what you're doing. You're sampling life. You're seeing what life has to offer. Variety is that spice of life. And I feel for too long, you've not been able to sample life. I feel like you've been stuck in like one tunnel vision where you've been focusing on something. Maybe it's your work, maybe it's money. Quite a lot, okay? I do see that financially you're going to be able to save money this month, but it's going to be at like a leveled plateau, okay? I do see that there is a surprise bill, but you may contest that bill and you'll get that money back. But I feel like the universe is sending you a lovely surprise. All the cards point to a lovely surprise that you will celebrate. And of course, you will be that pillar of strength for your friend as well. So I'm just going to go and get a trinket or rune before we close. Oh, wow, look at this. As I said, I was picking up really strongly on you passing something. Some of you may have a test or something like that. You're going to pass with flying colors there. Some of you may be thinking about going back to college and learning a new qualification to get a certification. I definitely see that you're going to go from strength to strength. But also, I feel like you recognize you're a student of life and there's so much more out there for you to see. And this is the month about exploring and getting out there and really learning more about the world, learning more about you. And it's a really great month to make those changes, okay? And look at that. Loving this rune for you. This is potential. This is the hero rune. So this is about having the freedom to explore all potentials and recognizing that you're going from strength to strength. This is a rune of freedom. So liberating yourself out of a very stuck situation. It can mark the end of something, the beginning of something wonderfully new, okay? And I feel that change is afoot for you, my beautiful Sagittarians, but you're going to handle it with style and panache, okay? So I hope something resonates in this reading for you. If it does, please like or subscribe to my channel. Completely free for you. All you have to do is press a little bell that lets you know when I update my next message. It lets me know that you resonate with the reading, which is so important for me too. Thank you so much, my beautiful Sagittarians, and love and light.